Hello, sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to another of these things. I am once again in high quality, which means... Ooh, you can see the pins. Look at those cool pins. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Get me back. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. So last time we did a high quality like this, we did Contra Arcade, 1 credit clear. So now, I have been tinkering once again with the Contra, and I am proud to present you Contra NES No Death Clear. Alright, so we're here in the Contra Anniversary Collection, which I love that you can just save the replay like this. We're just going to hide the bar, and we're going with Contra. Ooh. So I thought this would be more free than the Contra Arcade, but it turned out to give me about the same amount of hassle. I don't know about a little more, but yeah, definitely no slouch. Something I really had to learn and drill into my memory, but other than that, it was fun to get this. Level 1 is kind of free, just, you know, level 1 of Contra. It's not that difficult. A lot of people put this game on the hard game lists, and they're like, number 5, Contra! What a great game! Too bad it's impossible without the Konami code! And it's like, no, it's not. I apologize if that sounds like elitism, but it's really not. I mean, you can use the code as like a practice, so you get better at the game as you play it. And then you lose less lives as you play, and then eventually you're like, okay, why, I only lost 3 lives in that run, so I could play this game without the code now. That's just how learning a hard game works. And learning a good hard game, not a crazy bullshit. And Contra is not a crazy bullshit hard game. It is a good hard game. And one I am going to clear without dying for you all here. I know you could just run up to the wall and do speedrun strats and go like this, but I'm sure that sounded really great. But nah, I like to take it nice and slow and get the points. Look at those points, 28,000 points. I wouldn't get 28,000 points if I was speeding through this shit. Speaking of speedrun, there's something to do with the speedrun. And I wonder if those R's stack. That's really something I should have looked up beforehand. If the R's stack or not, I don't know. It could be just a placebo effect. It could be you only get 1, but it's still precious, precious points. But the speedrun thing is, you can only mash, like, so fast to get a consistent spread of spread bullets. Consistent spread of spread bullets. That's great. That's a great phrase. But you know that. But I don't know, there's something finicky about it where you gotta button mash this fast, but don't button mash too fast, or something like that. I'm not a Contra speedrunner, I don't know. More power to them, they beat the game in like, I think they've got it down at the 10-minute mark, maybe just under 10 minutes. I don't know, but that's really impressive. This is not a 10-minute run of Contra. But we're at the boss already. There's a lot more leniency with standing next to these bullets compared to the arcade Contra. You know, generally I like the NES Contra better. The arcade Contra feels a little floaty and weird to me. But I'm sure the inverse is true for someone who, like, quarter-fed the arcade Contra and then came to this and was like, what? The jumps are all fluid and strange, and your gun, it just snaps to a 45-degree angle? What? That ain't Contra. That ain't Contra at all. And then the waterfall is when we hit the first kind of difficult level of Contra. There are some tricky things that took attempts here, but it's not the worst in the world. You just gotta know where you're going and shoot things on the way, and it's fine. It's just fine. I like dealing with these turrets. I like taking the slow and steady approach. And thankfully, we don't have to take a death to make this invincibility spawn. There's no such thing as pity capsules in the console Contra. Isn't that great? Okay. Now, I'm sure, again, the speedrunners could probably make it to the boss on this invincibility, but I'm all about the slow and steady approach. Just take it nice and easy. You know? Okay. So, invincibility's worn off, but you can just deal with these turrets fine. It's fine. It's just fine. I mean, you got the spread gun and its perfect angles. So the boss is the first, was the first real hurdle for me in getting this, because I had to learn a good way to get through it. But I did. I found a nice, consistent strat, so it's not so bad. And here it is. We're going to go to this side. Just going to stand just a little bit away from the edge of the screen, so I have enough room to move away from this thing, and then duck this thing, and that deals with the first arm. And we're going to play a bit cautious here until it comes down, get the second arm, and that's great. And now all we have to do is shave pixels off this fire and hit the alien in the mouth. And it's a lot nicer than Arcade Contra because the target is lower, which means that you get more than one spread bullet shot hitting it, which is good. Which is very good. The bases. I actually did lose a run to this base just because if you're shooting, it can kind of obscure the enemy bullets. So, that's not great. But other than that, this is pretty easy. Just gotta be cautious and careful. Which is what I am. Except on the parts when I am risking it all to be really flashy. Like here. I should probably take out this turret just to be safe, but instead I'm doing this shit, and you can see what's happening. The explosions and stuff are hiding the bullets from me. But that's okay. They put this this weird height where it's not quite standing height, not quite jumping height. They do that a lot in Arcade Contra too. But... oh, it was in the middle this time. What a twist! Oh, they're swerving me. Oh, Konami, you rascals. Trying to get me, but I'm smarter than that. I'm smarter than that, Konami. Oh, this is a strange room where it's just after this escalation, it's just, okay, here's one target. But I guess the rolling things are the escalation? I guess? Oh. Here's an escalation. Now we have to only hit it with one spread at a time. I did it again! Spread. Spread stream? Spread spray? You can do this without vamping Fresno in front now. But we're coming up on the boss of this one, and I hated it in Arcade Contra, and I have to say, I am still not the fondest of it in the console Contra. But at least it's nicer. Like, it's only got one thing in the way of the turret instead of two. And it's just generally nicer. So, that's good. That being said, this is still going to be a very interesting fight. And once again, frame rate horse shit is happening. As is wont to do. You gotta be real careful with these bubbles, because they can sneak up on you. And it's not fun when they do. Case in point! Look at this ballet bullshit! That should have cost me the fucking run, but it didn't. And thank God for it. But that's that. Okay, on to the back half of the game, which is not one long level, but actually is 4, lengthy-ish levels. And with the snowfield, the biggest tip I can give you is keep moving. If you keep moving, it gives less of a chance for these little guys to sneak up on you and fire bullets into your back. So, keep moving. Don't be a risk taker and stop moving. What did I just say? You buffoon. You fool. Oh wait, that's me. Yeah, you really gotta keep moving, otherwise they sneak up and they shoot their bullets and... Jesus Christ! I jumped between the bombs and landed just in time to duck that bullet stream. That is ridiculous. Oh, hi Sarah. Welcome to the video. I wonder what you're gonna do, you cool puppet. Anyway, we're coming up on button mashing time. Hooray! Button mashing time. I wonder how this would go if you had the basic gun, but I don't have the basic gun though, do I? I have the spread gun, so I can literally set the controller down on the table and just mash that B button like there is no fucking tomorrow. So, that's neat. That's very neat. But we gotta be careful, because turret man. And they tried for it. Ooh, what if I run at you from behind while you're ducked down dealing with the turret man? That's sure to take a life. As is this thing. I don't even know what the hell these things are. Tanks? Snowplows? Whatever the Christ they are, they're blown up. And we're on the final segment. Which ain't that bad. It really ain't that bad. Just gotta be cautious and keep moving. That's all you gotta do. Oh, there's only one turret man left. He's in a bit of an awkward position in between two of these grenades, but we can move far enough to deal with him. And now we've got this boss, which I don't think has ever taken an attempt. Has this ever taken a life ever? If you have the spread, you can just shred it. And the only reason that it survived a cycle was because my placement was slightly off, but bye. Nerd. Alright, so the energy zone. It has the trickiest bits are at the opening. There's one jump that I really had to drill into my memory how to deal with. And we're going to get to it. Oh, look at that. That little fellow. Why, he was stopping my forward progress. I was about to drop down and he was going to be like, psych, I got you. Yeah, lots of turrets. Lots of guys who are going to shoot bullets from behind. And here's the jump. Now, I lost an attempt because I was like psyching myself to make the jump. And I'm like, okay, I got to go for the turret. I got to go for it. I got to go for it. And I went for the jump. Completely forgot about the fire. And it killed me. So you gotta hang out, wait for the fire, and then you go. And then you immediately duck because there's turrets. Jesus. This game can be a little mean sometimes, can't it? But once you're past there, it's kind of smooth sailing because it loses the chaotic unpredictability of randomly spawning goons and goes to this bit where, you can recognize the pattern and you can know what to do. Yeah, a lot of these early arcade games, the hardest part is the randomly spawning shit. Like Ghosts and Goblins, prime example. That's the main difficulty of that game, I feel, is the chaotic gremlin nature of it, where this random bullshit just spawns in and kills you. Put in another quarter, fuck you. What do you mean you're on console? No, put in another quarter, fuck you. The invincibility, you can almost run through this entire final segment. But not quite. It wore off there. And oh, Jesus Christ! That little shit almost got the entire run. Oh my god. What an asshole. But yeah, I lost the run also to the invincibility running out and running straight into that fire pillar. Anyway, this fella, not nearly as mean as the second fella in arcade Contra like that. But stage 7 is the hangar. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. There's a few moments that I had to remember to make sure I could deal with it well, but it's not so bad at all. Like that fella. That fella's killed me. You gotta remember that little fella. That little turret fella. Yeah, what are these big spike walls trying to stop me, and more goons are spawning in. Don't like it. Don't like it very well. But I like taking the top paths in general in the hangar because they are easier. A little harder to get to, but they're easier. Ooh. That's kind of tricky. Anyway, you ready to ride the polycart? Hell yeah. And more invincibility. How nice of them. It's not even contained in a pity capsule. How great. More polycart riding. Yeehaw! Anyway, we want to take the top path here because the claws on the bottom path are absolute trollish assholes. And I don't like them. So I made the difficult jump and avoided them. Hooray for me. So, final stretch here. Not too bad. We've got some more claw fun coming up. And it can be tricky if you have a low power weapon and have to go back and forth, but we got the spread gun, so all we gotta do is bunk like that. And now for these turret fellas who are really quick on the draw, and the guys coming from behind are also really quick on the draw. This part's kind of tense. I don't like it. Do that here. Yeah. And now for an easy sort of boss, where you just run up and mash B and blow the shit out of it. And that'll take us to the final level, the gross and grody alien lair. Hoo-hoo. Your nerves are really on edge if you get here in a no-death clear, because it's like, ooh, scary. We've got these alien shrimps and the big fat xenomorph, and this time we got a spread gun to deal with it, rather than having to deal with that horse shit of using the machine gun in arcade Contra. So, get out of here. And again, comparing to arcade Contra, this part with these wall mouths spit the homing white fuzzball. Much easier when you can aim straight 45 degrees and you don't have to do that snap to it horse shit. Like a turret. Much, much easier. Thank God for it. But I do take this a little cautiously and make sure to clear out everyone. Even if it's at odd angles, as you'll see. Like this fella, I don't want to make that jump, so I'm just gonna spawn him and then pick him off like that. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine like that. And yep, don't want to go too far forward because we'll spawn that guy, so just pop him like that. I think that's the last of those I really had to be, like, super cautious about. And we're on the final stretch, which, to my shame, I have lost an attempt to the heart because of the face huggers. But not this time. Not this time. We're gonna... I like dealing with this. I'm sure that you could blitz it and deal with it, but I don't want to risk. Though, ironically, the longer you stay here, the longer you risk a face hugger fucking you up. Now all I gotta do is mash like there's no goddamn tomorrow, and occasionally avoid a dropping down face hugger. That's it! That is Contra, and no death, clear. We got the run! We got it, everybody! Yeah! Everybody clap. And the entire goddamn island explodes, because that's just how Nintendo games do at the end. But yeah, Contra, NES, no death clear. Complete. I like it. I mean, it's fucking Contra on Nintendo. It's an all-time classic. Who doesn't love Contra on Nintendo? I'm sure there are people who don't love Contra on Nintendo, but among the retro gamers who are into this whole hard game sort of thing, this is a well-regarded, and for good reason. It's a very good game. And I am glad to have gotten the no death on video. I did actually get it as did I say that, or did I say that in the previous recording? I think I said it in the previous recording. I'm going to say it again. I apologize for vamping. But I did actually get this years ago on the NES. Like on the physical Nintendo cartridge itself. But I'm glad to have the proof here and now for you all. AC Contra Team. I bet they're pretty cool. Oh, yeah. But we do love that Ume-chan and S. Kitamoto directing the game. But yeah, that's Contra. I have done years ago, but without any commentary, I did a Super C No Death. I don't know if I'll commentate over it or not, but don't go expecting a Contra 3 or hardcore one anytime soon, because, man, those games are hard. Fuck. But here we are on Loop 2, but I'm not playing Loop 2. We're gonna end it here. The replay's ended, and the video is ended. So, have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you for whatever the hell I do next. Till then, goodbye.